People say the countryside is peaceful. They say it's quiet, safe, predictable. Those people have never met my grandpa. Because when grandpa goes silent, truly silent, that's when the dangerous part begins. And the day a so-called HOA cop threatened him, that silence returned like an old ghost. But before we ever reached the moment where Grandpa sat calmly on the porch with a gun across his lap, the real trouble began with something far smaller, a badge. It arrived in the mail inside a thick white envelope, heavy like a metal coin. When Grandpa tore it open, a silver badge slid out and clattered on the table. Not sheriff, not county, not state. Just 4 engraved words. Riverbend Acres Enforcement. Grandpa stared at it, his jaw tightening. Enforcement, he repeated slowly. Lord save us from fools with shiny toys. Riverbend Acres was the fancy HOA neighborhood built on the opposite side of our creek, run by a woman named Delilah Crane. Sharp haircut, sharp voice, and a sharper ego. She believed she ran the entire valley because she attended 2 city council meetings and bought herself a clipboard with a gold clip. Grandpa had lived here nearly 60 years. Delilah had lived here 11 months. But she complained like she owned the sky above us. Your cattle are visible from the jogging trail. Your windmill is antiquated. Your paint is non-compliant. Your rooster disturbs our quiet hours. Your horses produce unaesthetic waist patterns. Grandpa burned her letters without reading past the first line. But sending a badge, that meant a new level of stupidity. 2 days later, a black SUV rolled into our driveway like someone arriving to repossess a soul. A tall man stepped out, wrong kind of tall, the kind built from gym mirrors and bad decisions. Tactical vest, tight gloves, polished black boots, sunglasses so dark you couldn't see if he had eyes. He adjusted the silver badge on his chest like he wanted it to shine in the sun. "Morning," he said, dropping his voice to the fake officer register. "I'm Enforcement Officer Felix Ward. You're out of compliance with Riverbend Acres regulations." Grandpa didn't even turn fully toward him. "Son, take off those sunglasses so I know which liar I'm looking at." Felix didn't flinch. "Sir, the HOA has approved a boundary expansion that will include your land. I'm here to prepare you for the transition." "There ain't gonna be no transition," Grandpa replied. Felix stepped closer, too close. A paper slapped against his clipboard as he spoke. "Non-compliant structures are subject to forced removal. You'll want to cooperate early." "Forced removal?" Grandpa repeated, voice flat. Felix nodded proudly like a student reciting lines. "Barns, fences, livestock, anything violating regulation." Grandpa's tone didn't change, but the air around him did. "That badge," he said gently, "looks like it came from a website that sells dog collars and fake IDs. Felix's jaw tightened. "This land belongs to the HOA now. You'll comply or you'll face escalation." He leaned in so close I could smell his dollar store cologne. Riverbend doesn't tolerate holdouts. When he left, his tires spit gravel like an insult. Grandpa watched the SUV vanish, his expression carved out of stone. "That boy's not HOA," he murmured. "He's something hired, something wrong." 3 nights later, just past midnight, we heard footsteps outside. Slow ones, heavy ones, more than one pair. Grandpa motioned for me to stay still as he lifted his old rifle from behind the door. We stepped onto the porch. 4 silhouettes stood near the barn. Felix was at the front. He wasn't wearing sunglasses this time. He held a small device with a blinking red light, waving it slowly across our property, as if scanning for ghosts. "Evening, Earl," he said. "We're doing a perimeter audit." "You're trespassing," Grandpa replied. This land belongs to the HOA in 48 hours. We're preparing for compliance. Delilah Crane wants everything mapped before demolition approval." My stomach dropped. Grandpa's hand steadied on the rifle. Delilah Crane, demolition approval, mapping structures at night. Felix gave a slow smile. "If I were you, I'd start packing." He walked away like a man who'd already won. The next morning, Grandpa found a paper on the porch, stamped, laminated, official. "Immediate removal order, unauthorized barn structure." He folded it once, twice, put it in his pocket. Then he said something that made the back of my neck go cold. "Bring me my chair." I brought it. He set it down in the center of the porch and sat like a man waiting for the sun to rise. Then he placed his rifle across his lap, hands resting gently on the stock, eyes fixed on the empty road. "He's coming today," Grandpa said quietly. "And this time, I won't be the one moving." The wind seemed to stop. The air grew heavy. Even the animals sensed something shifting. And when the rumble of an engine echoed down our drive hours later, Grandpa didn't blink. He only tightened his grip on the rifle and whispered, "Let the fool walk."
The next morning, the sun rose over Cedar Hollow like nothing had happened. But inside Grandpa's house, the air felt sharper, heavier. I found him already awake, sitting at the kitchen table, polishing that same revolver with slow, careful strokes. "What really happened last night?" I asked. "And don't say you handled it." Grandpa didn't look up. "Boy, when a fake cop knows your name, your address, and your routines, that means he wasn't acting alone." A chill crawled up my spine. "You think the HOA is watching us?" "Watching?" Grandpa gave a tired laugh. "No, they're hunting." Before I could ask more, tires crunched outside. Grandpa stood instantly, his hand lowering to the holster. He peeked through the blinds. A white SUV, blacked-out windows, no plates. My heart thudded. "Is it the same guy?" "No," Grandpa said. "Worse." 3 people stepped out. 2 men in tactical boots, and a woman in a navy blazer carrying a clipboard. She wore a bright HOA badge like it was some federal authority. They walked right up onto the porch, didn't even knock. The woman pushed the doorbell like she was punching someone. Grandpa whispered, "If they force entry, let me talk. They ain't here to negotiate, they're here to claim." I swallowed hard and opened the door. The woman smiled with a lawyer's dead warmth. "Good morning. You are in violation of Section 18, Sub-Rule 7, failure to comply with mandatory senior wellness checks." I blinked. "What?" "These 2," she gestured at the large men behind her, "are HOA safety compliance officers. They will be inspecting the residence and removing hazards." Behind me, Grandpa stepped forward. "No one steps inside my home." The woman narrowed her eyes. "Sir, this inspection is mandatory under new HOA emergency regulations, approved last night." Grandpa chuckled softly. "Funny. Last night is when your boy tried to break in. You folks like working after hours." Her smile cracked. "No one from the HOA came here last night." "Oh, he had a badge same as yours, just cheaper. Same lies, though." The men moved subtly, trying to flank the doorway. Grandpa didn't step back. He didn't pull out the gun either. He just stood like a stone wall. "Back away," she snapped. "I will call law enforcement." Grandpa leaned in slightly. "Darling, I am law enforcement. 32 years sheriff, 10 years investigator, and you're trespassing." Her bravado slipped. She glanced at her men. "You know what you have to do. Go inside, now." They stepped forward. Grandpa exhaled slowly, as if accepting something he hoped wouldn't come. Then, he reached behind his back. Not the gun. A folder. He opened it in her face, photographs tumbling out, grainy images of SUVs, nighttime visits, property maps, and the HOA's development expansion draft, and a document stamped "Rejected by County Zoning Committee." The woman's pupils shrank. Grandpa growled, "This land has no HOA jurisdiction. You know it, your president knows it, and your little demolition plan, I've been collecting evidence for weeks." One of the men spoke for the first time. "Ma'am, he knows." She regained her composure with one deep inhale, and then she smirked. "Then I suppose we move to Plan B." She raised her hand. A drone rose from the SUV roof, sleek, black, military-grade with a blinding red sensor on the front. It hovered over us, scanning the porch. Grandpa muttered, "Damn, they're desperate." A mechanical voice boomed from the drone. "Unauthorized occupants detected. Vacate the premises immediately." My chest seized. "Grandpa, what do we do?" He stepped beside me, calm as a midnight breeze. "We don't panic. We let them make a mistake big enough to bring this whole operation down." The drone dropped lower, siren growing. The HOA enforcers began advancing again. Grandpa whispered, almost a prayer, "Stay behind me, boy."
The drone siren pierced the morning air, rattling the windows as it hovered just inches above the porch. The HOA enforcers stepped in closer, forming a wall of muscle. The woman with the clipboard raised her chin with the arrogance of someone who believed she had already won. Grandpa didn't flinch. He just squinted up at the drone like he was studying a pesky mosquito. 3, 2, he whispered. On 1, a shot rang out, but not from Grandpa. The drone sparked violently and spiraled into the dirt, its camera shattered. A second later, Sheriff Donnelly's voice thundered from down the driveway. "Drop everything and step back! Hands where I can see them!" 3 sheriff SUVs screeched to a halt behind him. Deputies poured out, rifles raised, surrounding the HOA team in seconds. The woman shouted, "This property falls under HOA regulatory—" "Ma'am," Sheriff Donnelly barked, "HOAs don't get to deploy weaponized drones. That's a federal felony, in case your policy binder forgot to mention it." The 2 enforcers froze. Hands rose slowly. The fake cop bravado evaporated. But the woman, she wasn't done. Her voice dropped low. "You don't understand what you're interfering with." Grandpa stepped forward, holding up the folder of incriminating documents. "Oh, I understand just fine. Your HOA isn't an HOA. It's a shell corporation for a land grab operation. You've been planning to bulldoze rural properties, mark them as abandoned, then sell the parcels to your developer buddy." Her jaw tightened. Grandpa continued, "You sent a fake cop to frighten me, then these 2 goons, then the drone, all because you need this land cleared before the county votes next week." The sheriff nodded. "We got the anonymous packet you mailed us last night, Hank. You were right. We traced the HOA president's finances, offshore accounts, illegal zoning payments, fake citations, and a demolition order already filed for this property." The woman's face drained of color. "You can't prove I did anything." A voice cut her off from behind. "Oh, yes, they can." We turned. Melissa, one of Grandpa's quiet neighbors, was standing at the property line holding her phone. "Your email server wasn't as encrypted as you thought. I saved everything, every meeting, every signature you forged, every payment you laundered." She snapped. "You idiot! You think this ends with me? You have no idea who you're crossing." Before she could finish, deputies swarmed her, snapping cuffs on her wrists. One of the enforcers tried to run. A deputy tackled him into the grass. The other sank to his knees, defeated. But something was still wrong. Grandpa's eyes narrowed. The fake cop from last night. He's not here. Almost on cue, an engine roared somewhere behind the houses. A black sedan peeled out onto the back road, speeding away. Sheriff Donnelly growled, "That's the HOA president! After him!" 3 patrol cars tore after the sedan, sirens screaming. Grandpa watched the chase disappear down the dirt road, then exhaled deeply. "Won't matter. They'll catch 'em. Men like that always think they're smarter than the law." I let out a shaky breath. "Is it finally over?" Grandpa placed a hand on my shoulder. "It will be now." Within an hour, we got the update. The president's car crashed 2 miles down the road. He was alive, but caught, and he sang like a choir boy. The entire HOA crime network unraveled overnight. 21 arrests, multiple federal charges, years of illegal seizures exposed. By sunset, Cedar Hollow's so-called HOA was officially dissolved for good. Neighbors gathered on Grandpa's porch, some crying, some laughing, all relieved. Melissa hugged Grandpa tightly. "You saved us," she whispered. Grandpa smiled, slow and humble. "No, we saved each other." Then he sat in his rocking chair, the same calm expression he wore the night this all began. "Funny thing," he muttered, looking out toward the quiet trees. "All that chaos started because one fake cop tried to threaten an old man on his own porch. Shouldn't have known better." I laughed. "What would you have done if they'd pushed further today?" Grandpa tapped his holster gently. "Boy, there's a reason I sat down before I drew." Then he winked. "I shoot straighter when I'm comfortable." The porch erupted in laughter. And just like that, the land was safe, Grandpa was a hero, and the crooked HOA that thought they could bully a retired sheriff learned the oldest lesson in the country: never threaten Grandpa on his own land.
Every neighborhood has its secrets, and every Karen leaves her mark. If you love true HOA stories like this, make sure to watch more on our channel, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life neighborhood drama. Thank you.